Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. I do have a sore throat today, everyone, so please bear with me. I may sound a bit croaky or a bit tired. I'm not. I'm fine, apart from the fact that my throat is in agony. However, I'm still here to deliver another episode of the finest crypto news on YouTube, and I hope you are following along for the journey. I hope you have your coffee, you're ready to go. I hope you've had a great morning so far, or whatever time you're watching this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you do get around to catching up with Coffee and Crypto. Let's dive into today's video. Now, first things first, let's look at CC Pro's Discord. I'm not going to touch on it any more than this. If you want to know more, and you know that you want to know more, put it that way, but you want to know more about crypto, we are here to help, and you can find out how we can help from the link in today's description. I won't talk too much more on it because my throat is, like I said, absolute agony. Let's roll straight into the top 10 prices and see how things are looking. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $42,841, up almost 4% this week, which is good to see, but not much movement the past 24 hours, actually down slightly. Ethereum is at 2,211, up about 1.5% the past 7 days. Not much movement the past 24 hours, and you've probably noticed that there's not been much movement across anything the past 24 hours. However, VeChain, actually, I'm a big fan of VeChain. That's up around 7 or 8% today, which is good. Maybe we'll take a look at that. We then have BNB at $256, XRP at 60 cents, Solana at $76, Cardano at 59 cents, Avalanche at $37, and then finally Dogecoin at 0.087. Now, Dogecoin's actually had a bit of a harsh week this week, as you can see, down almost 11% on the weekly. But anyway, let me just bring up the VeChain chart, because like I said, VeChain is up quite a bit. Let's see, so VeChain, we're up 7.8% on the day, which is great to see. Like I said, I am a big fan and have been for quite some time of VeChain. So even up on the weekly, we are up almost 20% on the week. So shout out to all my VeChain holders. I know there is loads of you in Discord, and I'm sure plenty of people watching this hold VeChain in their portfolio. But yeah, we're up 20% on the week and almost 8% on the day. So fantastic to see. Let's move on now. First piece of news comes from Ripple. So, Ripple gets approval to operate as digital asset service operator in Ireland. So this is good news. We did see throughout this year a lot of people going to Ireland because it's technically outside of Europe and the UK or whatever, and they are easier to get licenses for, especially in crypto. So, cryptocurrency payment network Ripple has reached another regulatory milestone in Ireland, with the Central Bank of Ireland, the CBI, approving the firm as a virtual asset service provider, also known as a VASP. Now, announcing the news on December 19th, Ripple said it has now been added to the CBI's list of registered VASPs, allowing the firm to provide certain digital asset services in Ireland. Now, according to the data from the CBI's vast register, Ripple can conduct transactions on behalf of another natural or legal person who moves digital assets from one address to another, or account to account. Now, Ripple is also allowed to provide crypto exchange services against fiat currencies, as well as exchange between different cryptos and provide custody services according to such register. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, not a huge amount. This won't exactly help the price of XRP, for example, right now. But as I always mention, as a kind of investor in XRP, not in Ripple, but you want to know what the background company and the actual company behind the asset is doing. And Ripple have been and are continuing to progress forward in the crypto space. So that's why I think it's important to pay attention to news like this. So, besides Ripple, the CBI's VASP register includes cryptocurrency firms like the US-based crypto exchange Coinbase, payment processor MoonPay, Gemini Exchange and Zodiac Custody. With the registration, Ripple aims to offer crypto services to clients within the European Economic Area after the adoption of major European crypto regulations known as the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulations, or MiCA. Spoke about that about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, on the channel. Expected to come into force by the end of 2024. MiCA aims to increase investor protection and improve compliance with anti-money laundering laws. Now, we don't love MiCA, but yeah, it is coming and it is to do with regulation. Now, the CBI's addition to the Ripple market is a list of registered virtual asset service providers is a significant step forward for our business in the region. This is apparently from the Ripple's Senior Vice President and Strategic of Initiatives, Eric van Miltenburg. He said Ireland has positioned itself as a supportive jurisdiction for the virtual assets industry and consequently as a great place for business like Ripple's to operate, reinforcing our decision to select Ireland as our primary base for EU regulation. So, like I said, shout out to Ireland because they are continuing to allow crypto firms to join their network of crypto firms, I guess. And Ripple, of course, because they don't get a lot of they don't go on with the US government so much, as we all know with the SEC. They obviously want to broaden the horizons. I do believe they're set up in Dubai as well, but now they are set up in Ireland as well. So yeah, it's, like I said, is it going to make much of a difference to your XRP price? Probably not that much, to be honest. But the fact that the company behind the XRP token, i.e. Ripple, is continuing to put the work in, sign up, get new licenses in different parts of the world is massive in my opinion. Again, that's just me as a Ripple fan. I respect what they do as an actual project, and yeah, I love to see this type of news. So, moving on to the next article, and it is about ETFs, my favourite topic of the channel. So, Spot Bitcoin ETF is the biggest Wall Street development in 30 years, according to Michael Saylor. So let's read into this in a little bit more detail. So a spot Bitcoin ETF, or an exchange traded fund approval, could be the biggest development on Wall Street since the early 1990s. And this is from Michael Saylor, as I've all mentioned. You must know who Michael Saylor is now. If you do, I suggest you get to know him. It's not unreasonable to suggest that this may be the biggest development. I can't even speak. Sorry, this sore throat is really testing me. Apologies if I mess up any words. I'm going to blame it on that. Let's try that again. It's not unreasonable to suggest that this may be the biggest development on Wall Street in 30 years. Now, the last thing that was this consequential was the creation of the S&P index and the ability to invest in all 500 S&P companies via one trade at the same time. So that still is, I mean, I know it's old news, right, and it's been since the 90s or whatever, but I still think that's pretty cool. I know we do it in crypto anyway nowadays, or at least Swissborg do it with like the thematics and whatnot, where you can invest in multiple assets. Also, as I mentioned that, don't forget CC Pro, our Discord community. Again, I mentioned it at the start of the video. We have our own S&P type of investment. So yeah, check that out. This is why I always say at the start of the video, don't kind of take it from me. Go read the reviews, join Discord, because there is plenty of things in there, and there's only ever going to be more and more and more added. For example, the copy trading that we've been doing is up over $54,000 in profit. So shout out to all the members who are in profit, and shout out to Mark, our full-time trader, who has been helping all of our clients and members and whatnot make that profit from copy trading. But the S&P 500, I do find it so interesting, the fact that, and I know this might sound quite basic, but bringing 500 different companies together under one asset that you can invest in. I know it's not rocket science, but yeah, I don't invest in S&P. I'm crypto, obviously, as we all know, but like I said, there is things in crypto that are very similar, i.e. the CC Pro basket, but also Swissborg do their thematics as well, which is a collection of cryptos under one kind of trade as such. So, Saylor explained that the spot Bitcoin ETF would open the door to mainstream retail and institutional investors that previously hadn't been able to access a high bandwidth compliant channel to invest in Bitcoin. So the ETF would be a major catalyst driving demand followed by a supply shock in April when the Bitcoin halving event takes place. That's what Saylor has went on to mention. So I don't think we've ever seen a 2 to a 10x increase in demand combined with a halving and supply in scarce, desirable asset that people want to hold for the long-term period. So I think we're expecting 2024 is going to be a major bull run for the asset class. Now, again, I mean, look, I love Michael Saylor and what he does. He obviously holds, I think it's like 140,000 Bitcoin. I can't remember if it says it on this article. Let me double check. No, they actually hold 174,000 Bitcoin. Or, sorry, let me get that number correct. 174,530 Bitcoin. So, he obviously is going to be Bitcoin's biggest fan. He's obviously going to tell you it's going to go on a massive bull run, it's the best thing ever and whatnot, because he holds so much of it. So it kind of makes sense to help push the kind of, not the agenda, but push the message of Bitcoin. But also, the reason he does push it is because he actually genuinely believes in it that much, which, again, he's put his money where his mouth is. He helps people get into it. I think he actually famously helped Elon Musk get into it in 2021, even though it was very well timed, but whatever. So Michael Saylor is a massive fan of Bitcoin in general, but yeah, he does also have over 170,000 of them, so he sort of has to be the biggest fan. But anyway, yes, like he said, he believes that the ETF coming is one of the largest things to come out of the kind of stock market or Wall Street since the early 90s. And the reason for that is because the big Wall Street guys who maybe are not allowed to invest in Bitcoin on an exchange will eventually, when this gets approved, will be able to allocate some money or some of their kind of investments to Bitcoin as well. So yeah, again, this is why I focus so much on it. I do think it's going to be a big deal, but I don't think that it's going to be, I think it might probably be a buy the rumour, sell the news type of event, and it's why we always talk about it. I always talk about it on this channel, where the first kind of quarter of 2024 are going to be super, super important, because that's when all the deadlines fall for the ETFs. Yes, we have the Bitcoin halving and whatnot, but I do believe that there will be, yes, probably some approvals, but that will be a massive, or it could cause a massive dump in the prices, and it's all just, again, buy the rumour, sell the news. It's, again, we talk about it a lot. I don't want to bore you too much with ETFs, but yes, they are going to be great for the bigger guys that want to get involved. Might not be so great for us retail investors, but we are already buying Bitcoin and already have been buying Bitcoin for a long, long time on exchanges. So yeah, it's just another level to Bitcoin, I suppose. People can now invest in it in other ways. Now, moving on to some UK news. So, I hate talking about the UK, but needs must. So, the UK Economic Secretary will discuss crypto firms' access to banks. Now, Jeremy Hunt, who serves as the Chancellor of the Exchequer for the UK, said Economic Secretary Bim Hifalami, I think that's the name, would be more than happy to meet and discuss issues related to digital assets in the country. As soon as I seen this issues thing, it kind of threw me off. So in a recent session then in the UK House of Commons, Hunt fielded a question from pro-crypto member of Parliament Lisa Cameron, who asked whether the Finance Minister was willing to meet to discuss licensed crypto firms' access to banking. Hunt said that Afalame would be available to speak with crypto and digital asset all-party parliamentary groups. Seems to be a lot of words there that try to trip me up. Now, the UK and London in particular has become the global crypto hub, but to make sure that the market rally can take off in the way it was intended, in a responsible way, we need to regulate it, which is why we've introduced regulations for stablecoins for promotions of crypto services. Yeah, you don't have to remind us. Now, they also joined the UK government as Economic Secretary, this guy Afalame did, back in November, placing him in charge of many policies affecting the adoption of digital assets and central bank digital currencies in the country. Now, before his appointment, he met with representatives of crypto exchanges Coinbase back in 2022 to discuss the regulatory environment for digital assets. Now, officials within the UK government have moved forward with pieces of legislation to regulate stablecoins, giving authorities the power to seize crypto uses for illicit transactions and establishing a digital security sandbox for crypto firms. The Prime Minister also plans to make the UK a tech hub for artificial intelligence, investing roughly $130 million in computer chips. Now, throughout the article, obviously we mentioned that the UK are leading the way, they're trying to become this crypto hub and whatever it may be, and look, they totally are, but they're not doing it for the reasons that you think they are. That's the difference. So, obviously, we all know the rules that have changed as of kind of October, and they've been enforced in January. There is no such way for companies to promote kind of crypto products in the UK from January, and they have regulated stablecoins as well. So it's all just part of a massive clampdown and a massive kind of change in the UK government against crypto. For the worst, I think. But anyway, so yeah, on that point, let me remind you, nothing that I ever provide is financial advice, by the way. You should know that by now. So don't listen to me. Do your own research. Please know that your money, if you are investing, if you are crazy enough to invest, can go to zero and your capital is always at risk. So please make sure that you're aware of that. You check out all the rules and whatnot for whatever country you are in to make sure that you are following the rules, because I advise you to follow the rules. Got that? Perfect. Let's move on to another article. So, Cathie Wood then, again, she's quite a kind of well-known face and name in the Bitcoin space. So she dumps 800k Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. Now, this is interesting. So, ARK Invest, one of the applicants for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, has continued to dump its holdings of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is GBTC, with the sale of yet another significant batch of shares. Now, on the 18th of December, they sold 809,441 GBTC from its ARK Next Generation Internet ETF. According to the trade notification seen by Cointelegraph, based on the closing price of around $34.50, the sale was worth $27.9 million, which is nuts. The latest divestment further reduces ARK's exposure to the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, with GBTC inching closer to dropping out of the list of top 3 holdings for the company. Now, GBTC still ranks as the third largest asset in the ARK Invest portfolio, accounting for 6.84%, with around $117 billion as their market value, which is insane. GBTC sits below the crypto exchange Coinbase and streaming company Roku, accounting for 11% and 8% of ARK's total assets. So, why is this a big deal? Well, like it kind of says at the start here, ARK Invest are looking for their own ETF. So it could be something to do with they're trying to free up funds to buy more Bitcoin so that their ETF, when it does get approved, they have the Bitcoin there. Possibly that could be something that they're doing. I don't know for sure, but it's something to think about. It could be why they have dumped even more of their assets. Now, while shedding the GBTC, ARK continued accumulating shares of Block, the financial payment processor co-founded by Jack Dorsey, who's obviously the man behind Twitter. So, yeah, they are moving things around. She is getting rid of them, or the company's getting rid of them, but they're also just kind of diversifying their portfolio a little bit more and going more heavy in some other things. Now, moving on to some ETF news from Ethereum this time, so slightly different from Bitcoin, but the SEC delays several Ethereum ETFs, pushing the final decision until May. So, I do believe, like I said many, many times, and I want to go on record, that I believe that the ETF stuff, whether it's the Ethereum ETF or the Bitcoin ETF, it is all timed, and it's timed for the market, obviously. Charts come first, remember. Charts are the most important thing that you can understand and learn in crypto. But the news and the ETF dates and all this nonsense all are hand-picked. And yeah, trust me, I've been here, I've seen it all before. Been here for nearly 7 years now. I've kind of seen what happens in terms of buy the rumour, sell the news, timed news. Yeah, charts are king. And over the next few months, it is looking positive, don't get me wrong. But we will start to see a lot of ETF stuff come in to put a little bit of fear in people. Now, December 18th then, regulatory filings. The agency delayed its decision on the Hashdex Nasdaq Ethereum ETF and this Grayscale Ethereum ETF. The Hashdex Ether ETF aims to hold both spot Ether and futures contracts, while Grayscale's Ethereum Futures ETF is seen as a Trojan horse and would corner the SEC into allowing Grayscale to convert its Ethereum trust to a spot Ethereum ETF. So again, bit of a business decision here, because Grayscale, as I've just mentioned them, they have their Bitcoin trust. They also have a Ethereum futures trust they're kind of going for. Now, in the filings, the agency said it would be insinuating. Sorry, this throat is really bugging me. I really apologise if I'm struggling here. I am struggling, but we're almost done. They're insinuating proceedings that involve gathering further public input around whether or not the ETFs should be listed. So, the agency also pushed back its decision on the Van Eck Spot Ethereum ETF and the Spot Ethereum ETF lodged by Cathie Wood and her company ARK. So, also the 21 shares one as well. So, you are seeing a lot of front runners and a lot of people that are getting attention and are probably going to get the ETFs first. But equally, you're also seeing a lot of companies being denied as well. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting few months. That's for sure. But yeah, here we go. There's some tweets there to show you that there's a delay for some of them. It was due by the end of this month, but it has been pushed until May. But look, do we expect anything different from the SEC? Because that is exactly how the SEC work. It's what they do. They consistently delay things or put it off and put it off and put it off. Why do they do that? Well, in my humble opinion, I do believe, again, it is timed. They do it for a reason. They do it because of the charts. Because, look, TradingView is open to absolutely everyone and anyone. Anyone can go check. Anyone can put on Fibonacci retracements, trends, whatever it may be. They can measure, like anything that we do in Discord or anything that traders do or whatever it may be. Everyone has access to that. Yes, people have different levels of understandings, but there's ways to learn and trade and whatever it may be, and people at the SEC will probably be counter trading. They don't have to divulge that information at the moment, but it'll probably come out in a year's time or so that there's a lot of SEC officials that have been counter trading all of this bad news. But yeah, the fact that the ETF has been pushed from the end of December until May doesn't surprise me. I won't bore you with it too much, but this is very, very normal for ETFs. They always get delayed until the final approval comes, and then I do believe the market will come down slightly after the buzz dies down. Then we'll move into the kind of block reward halving, into the Bitcoin halving. Then we'll start to pick up a little bit more and whatever it may be. And that's unless you believe in super cycles and you don't believe in the 4-year cycles and the halving rewards. So that's, it's up for discussion. But for me, the next few months are crucial. So for me, again, like I said, I've been speaking to a lot of clients. We actually have a few clients in today into the office, because don't forget, this is a YouTube channel where I bring you coffee and crypto most days. But fundamentally, we are a consultancy, a crypto consultancy. So throughout the week, we run telephone consultations and in-person consultations. So yeah, many of you watching this, I know you have spoken to me before, or you've been in this exact office, or maybe our older office. Like I said, we've got quite a busy week this week with in-person one-to-ones. The reason for that is people understand that the next few months are so important that it's crucial to invest that little bit of money to get in and speak to myself and Deck for those 2 hours to just get your portfolio set, get the information that you need, get yourself lined up to be in the best possible position for the next kind of 2, 3, 4, even 6 months in crypto, so that you can benefit from the bull run and not just kind of let me just see what happens. Hopefully it works. Everything should go up, because trust me, I did that in 2021 and I failed miserably. So yeah, you need guidance. You need a mentor. You need a one-to-one. You need someone to sit down for a couple of hours, talk you through your portfolio, just lay it out all on the table, go through everything that you want, everything that you have, and we promise. That's a promise, a guarantee that we will help you and you walk away. Your mind will be buzzing with information, but I guarantee you that when the bull does really kick in, which I do believe it will kick in very, very soon, so you are literally running out of time, because if you miss this one, and you mess this one up, you've got another 4, 5, maybe even 6 years before the next one. I don't have that kind of time to wait around. I'm getting on a bit in life. I might look young, but I'm getting on a bit. I don't want to wait around for another 5 years, 6 years to potentially get another bull run, which maybe we won't ever see it. So this bull, this next few weeks, this next few months are probably the most crucial for you, the viewer, you, the listener, however it is that you're watching or listening to this. Honestly, I know I'm really going off on one here, right? But I just want to, I'm very passionate about it, and I'm passionate about helping people, as you all know. I want to see you in this office over the next few months, or I want to at least speak to you on the phone. The phone is a bit easier. It's a shorter period. It's 45 minutes, but it's a shorter period, but I can still cram a lot in, and I can do them throughout the week, the weekend, the evenings, the mornings, whatever it is. I'm happy to kind of cram it into your diary, but I would prefer to see you in this office. And trust me, you would prefer to be in this office. We've just done this office up. It is looking fantastic. So even if you want to just pop in for a few hours, there will be a small surcharge, but please do. And in return, I will make sure that your portfolio is 100% the best it can be. I've got 7 years in this game. I've made some money. I've lost a lot more. So I've been the highs, the lows. I've seen it all. And I know some secrets that I can't quite share with everyone. But if you come into this office, I will share those secrets. I promise. That is a promise. Scout's honour. Come into the office, book a 1-to-1, and yeah. And also for members, you get discounts for 1-to-1s. So if you're not a member and you want a 1-to-1, well, if you sign up to the Discord, use your brain here. I shouldn't be telling you this. Sign up to the Discord, then use your discount, book the 1-to-1, then you've saved some money. How's that? Anyway, on that note, that was a bit of a ramble at the end of this video. But I do, again, like I say, I feel really passionate about it. I want to make sure that I can help you be in the best position possible, because I've been there and I've seen it all before. And trust me, you need to expect the unexpected, because crypto is a wild, wild game. But anyway, like I said, if you're interested, there is links below in the description to everything that you need, including the exchanges that we use as well. So go check them out, read all the reviews before you do anything, and don't just do something because someone on the internet told you to do it. That's all from me today on this episode of Coffee and Crypto. I will see you very, very soon, hopefully in this office. But yeah, for me, it's out, or over and out, should I say. See ya.